Number one, a facelift will lift the skin from the neck up to the temples. It doesn't generally automatically include lifting of the eyelid, upper or lower, known as blepharoplasty, or a brow lift where the skin of the forehead is raised in order to get rid of any creases that you've got there. However, in many, if not most cases, your brow lift and your blepharoplasty can be done in combination with your facelift. There are a wide range of facelifts: deep plane facelift, ponytail facelift, mid facelift, and others. When you tell your surgeon what the aim of your facelift is, he or she will of course match you with the best facelift for your needs. You can also have a neck lift on its own if if the skin of your neck has become saggy and wrinkly while your face actually hasn't. Also, some people have cheek implants done with their facelift because well sculpted and well defined cheekbones both rejuvenate and beautify the face. And also, in a lot of cases, the surgeon can fit the cheek implants into your cheeks using the same incision that he or she has made for your facelift. So 2 procedures from 1 incision. Point number 2. In the past, hairline damage was a common consequence of a facelift, and the damage was to the area of hair just in front of the ear and just behind the ear. In other words, the part where the surgeon makes an incision in order to lift the skin and refit it at a higher position.
Well, back in the day, doctors would carry this incision all the way up this way, and that caused a lot of hair loss. And what that did was, as this came up, you ended up losing a lot of hair.
I still think it's worth raising the matter of hairline damage from your facelift with your surgeon before you have your facelift. But I think today the techniques that surgeons use will keep any hairline damage to a minimum, but just check, be on the safe side, and look at before and after pictures of people who've had facelifts and be educated.
Tough. The modern day design swoops around this area where the temple is full of hair. So this incision will swoop around this way. You'll lose some of these finer hairs, but that's okay.
Point number 3. A facelift will keep you looking young for a number of years. How many years though depends on a number of things like lifestyle, diet, habits like smoking. But for a lot of people, it's unusual for them to think that they need another facelift until at least 8 years after their facelift. But again, check that with your surgeon, be educated as to your own specific needs regarding future facelifts. A lower facelift like that. I had that in 2012. I had a lower facelift, but that was nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, we have to make it again, I see.
Point number 4. In the months leading up to your facelift, it's advisable not to have either Botox or filler. And Dr. Helena Benson isn't the only doctor who's told me that. Far from it. Hi friends, so this is the lovely Dr. Helena Benson from the Advanced Beauty Clinic in London. Today Dr. Helena is doing my top up of my eyebrow pigmentation, and I've got a question for Dr. Helena. Suppose I wanted Botox as well, could you do the both at the same time?
I don't do Botox at the show.
Does that mean you're not doing fillers today either?
I do fillers, yes.
Yeah, you do fillers, but are you doing them at the show? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Oh right, okay. Why aren't you doing Botox at the show?
It's a prescription medicine, so it's not...
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Point number 5. In fact, from this point forward, most of the education that I've got for you relates to the healing and the scarring to come from your facelift. If you smoke, you have to stop for at least 6 weeks before your facelift and for at least a month afterwards, because smoking can have a devastating effect on your healing and your scarring.
And what that does is it tends to vasoconstrict the blood vessels, the nicotine does, which tightens up the blood vessels so you don't get good nutrients going to help heal it. And they'll end up with large scars, wound breakdown, risk of infection. Infection,
ugly scars, and skin necrosis or skin death. You can avoid those things if you force yourself to give up smoking for at least the 10 weeks that I've said. Point number Like in the case, of most invasive surgical procedures, you can expect lots of swelling and lots of bruising straight after your facelift, which will last for a number of, well, the main part of it will last for 1 to 2 weeks, and then the remainder will, gradually disappear over time. For the first 48 hours, you might, but you're very likely to have drains attached to the back of your ears, collecting blood into containers at the other end of the drains. Swelling is actually blood. So getting rid of any spare blood means that it's not sitting under your skin swelling you up, as you can see. Also, your head is likely to be bandaged for up to 48 hours after your facelift. That again reduces swelling and bruising. And it also helps restrict your facial movements, so you can't have any quick or sudden facial movements which could damage your healing, like affect your stitches, maybe burst your stitches. By the way, in case you don't know, I'm Gina. When I made this video, I was 46. I would love it if you gave this video a like and if you subscribed if you haven't already done so. Point number 7, for several months after your facelift, your face will feel tight. It will feel tightest during the first few days after your facelift. Now, I personally didn't find that in any way painful or uncomfortable. I just found it strange because obviously it's not what we're used to. It took my tightness 4 months to fully disappear, and because I'd got so used to it, by the time it disappeared, I missed it. Point number 8. Now, generally a facelift is not painful or uncomfortable. That's a generalisation. There are other people who will find a facelift either slightly to moderately painful and possibly even more painful than that. But I think generally, for most people, it's a relatively or virtually pain-free experience. It certainly was for me, and I have to say that is the same for all of the facial surgery that I've had: nose jobs, lip reductions, chin implants, cheek implants, and a facelift. A very different story to my body surgery. Number 9, there are 3 pieces of good news relating to the scarring to come from a facelift. Number 1 is that there are lots of really effective treatments for scars these days. So this goes for any scars, not just facelift scars. You can get laser, including at-home laser. You can get really good scar creams and other solutions. Number 2, in a lot of cases, if not most cases, facelift scars will become invisible over time if they completely heal. In the third place, the third piece of good news is that even if your scars don't fully disappear, they become so inconspicuous that you just don't care. They, don't spoil your appearance in any way. And lots of people will have hair that covers their scars anyway. I've got my trusty wig covering my scars. These are not facelift scars. They are not surgical scars of any kind. Number 10, for the first 48 hours after your facelift, you should drink through a straw and you should eat food that only requires minimal chewing. Again, this is to restrict your facial movements in order to assist your healing. Spaghetti bolognese was my best friend for the first week after my facelift. Number 10, I recommend you to raise with your surgeon before you have your facelift the matter of capillary damage, because the damage done to capillaries during a facelift apparently can affect how many facelifts you should have in the future. Apparently, according to a doctor who told me this information, because of capillary damage, a person should only have 2 facelifts ever. On that point, I think there are people who have had more than 2 facelifts and who still look great, but you've got nothing to lose by raising the matter of capillary damage caused by a facelift with your surgeon before you have your facelift. Number 12, I'm recording this video in the summer of 2022. A few days after, Kim Kardashian posted a video on Instagram showing herself using one of her products from her skincare range, and in the process revealing, according to some, her facelift scars. If Kim has had a facelift, then I personally think the fact that she always denies it says something about her attitude towards her very fans, the very people who have put her where she is. I am all for cosmetic surgery. I'm all for people making changes to their appearance to enhance their confidence. Now, another element of your face that can really boost your beauty, make you look younger, and in doing so, boost your confidence, is having a beautiful smile. These are the 24 things that you need to know before you have your smile makeover. I will see you there.
So let's do a summary of Kim Kardashian's facial plastic surgeries, at least according to what I think may have happened. First, we've got a rhinoplasty. I'll give you approximate price ranges, and I'm sure she's paying on the higher end of things. Rhinoplasty